Hey, I'm Myers, and I want to talk to you guys about this fucking killer musician from out of the KC area. Kansas City is a weird town as far as the history of punk goes. Um, you know, I'm growing up in Sioux City, Iowa, where Sioux City, like, geographically, it was always equal distance from Minneapolis as it was from Kansas City. And at King's Court, man, we used to get a lot of fucking Minneapolis bands, a lot of twin tone bands, and later we ended up getting a lot of amphetamine reptile bands, ham rap bands, and bands from Minneapolis that had that AMRAP or twin tone sort of sound, but maybe were on one of the smaller labels, and or hadn't been signed yet to I'm thinking about when Guzzard come to King's Court. Guzzard had they had like Maxwell fucking like just blank tapes or whatever with like four songs, the first four Guzzard songs, and eventually they signed to AMRAP and put out a couple records and everything on AMRAP, but they had that AMRAP sound before they were signed to them or whatever, but there were bands like Loose Rails that I'm doing a record with. We're putting out their record Red Turns to Green. Originally, when that came out, Red Turns to Green only came out on cassette and CD. And we're going back sometime. Red Turns to Green came out in like 91, 92 or so. So 30 some years later, we're putting out Red Turns to Green on vinyl on Sioux Records, and I don't like saying Sioux Records. I just like calling it Sioux. If you know what I'm doing, it's a fucking record company. So, anyways, but yeah, we used to get all these Minneapolis bands into Sioux City, and like never heard anything out of Kansas City. Omaha is about 100 miles south of Sioux City. I mean, like, to get to Kansas City from Sioux City, you just jump on I-29 is straight south. And, in Omaha, being straight south of Sioux City, between Sioux City and Kansas City, we used to get all kinds of fucking Omaha bands, and but we never got bands coming from Kansas City, and never really heard of it. I never really heard of a band from Kansas City until like the emo band, the Get Up Kids, came around in like, I don't know, 96, 97, the Get Up Kids came out. I can't remember. And then in the early 2000s, there was a band out of there called The Anniversary, where, and they, the Anniversary was kind of doing something a little bit different, and, so ironically, as close as Sioux City is to Kansas City, like, we never had a fucking real connection to Kansas City at all. And, I don't know what really happened down there, if they had a fucking rockin' scene, if they didn't, because we knew what was going on in Des Moines, we knew what was going on in Chicago, we definitely knew what was going on in Milwaukee with, Detroitson and those sort of bands. We knew what was going on in Green Bay with, I knew what was going on in Green Bay with Boris the Sprinkler and Reverend Norb. I mean, I used to read Reverend Norb's column in Maximum Rock and Roll religiously, but I mean, these towns in the Midwest, and then you get further over into Indiana and Ohio, there was bands that one of the fucking best fucking early great bands. I love the Zero Boys. Were from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I love all that fucking Ohio shit of New Bomb Turks, Dead Boys, the Pagans, all kinds of fucking bands that came from Ohio. I mean, I really think punk originated in a triangulated area between Detroit, Cleveland, and Akron. Between Akron, Cleveland, and Detroit, that's where punk really came from. And despite the influences of Velvet Underground and other stuff from New York or whatever, that real ethos, that real swagger and rock and roll sort of thing, really came from Detroit. And but yeah, so speaking of Kansas City, and I mentioned the anniversary, this guy Josh Berwanger, I'm sorry Josh if I'm slaughtering your name, Berwanger, I don't know, I'm bad at pronouncing people's names. Anyways, he played guitar in the anniversary, and this guy, he's put out a few albums, either under Josh Berwanger or just under the name Berwanger. So, and this guy's fucking brilliant. And I don't say that lightly. Like, his music, there's a little bit elements like on this particular record, and I highly recommend you find a copy of this. I'll try to put a link in the description of where you can order one of these. I don't know if these are still available. This record is about 5 years old, 6 years old. Let me see if I could read this. I think this came out in 2018, so yeah, this is about 5 years old now, and the thing about this record is one of the first song on here, Exorcism Rock, has sort of that Blue Oyster Cult, Romeo and Juliet, or Don't Fear the Reaper sort of Blue Oyster Cult sort of sound to it. There's songs on here that remind me of like Joe Jackson, and there's some elements of Cheap Trick and T-Rex, and so here's the thing about Josh's music is like, it sounds familiar. I mean, there's elements in there that, like I said, you hear some Joe Jackson, some T-Rex, some Blue Oyster Cult. You hear these elements like thrown in, but like it's not, it's not like he's directly copying these. I mean, he's taking these guys as influence and going into new directions with it, and he's fucking brilliant. Like, these songs have so many fucking great hooks in them, and great. I mean, I'm thinking of songs. Not a song on this album, but a song on a prior album called Mary. He had like these great hand claps that reminded me of Jeepster by T-Rex. And You know, like I said, there's a song on here that reminds me of Joe Jackson. Uh, you know, but you know, you get some Blue Oyster Cult. There's all kinds of different shit going on with his music that like it sounds familiar, but it's also very fucking new and intriguing, and like it pulls you in. And the guy's fucking brilliant, and you know, he's gone in a new direction now. He's kind of got like this hip hop band going on, and you know, like great, you know, like not really. I mean, I love this shit. This is brilliant to me, but the you know the guy, he's big enough that you know cerebral enough where you know he's willing to pursue other avenues. He's willing to you know if he wants to go do hip hop records, great. You know whatever. You know like I'd be happy with you know 50 copy you know 50 derivative albums of this because I think it's fucking brilliant. You know the songs on here. Black Sun is such a great modern like post breakup sort of song of like you know where he's basically saying and you know like you can't put your arms around me anymore, you can't break up with me and want to come back to score. You know the guy, I mean he knows emotion, he knows you know I don't know his whole fucking story, but I think the guy's got a whole lot of depth and range. And you know another song that's not on this but on a prior record called Time Traveler. You know he's sitting there singing about I sit here thinking about you all through the night, and you know that sort of passionate longing of you know like you know wanting that girl to know that you know she's on your mind, and you know whatever like the guy's a brilliant fucking songwriter, you know great fucking you know and there's so many fucking elements in it like as far as like one you got to have a good riff, you know well yeah he nails good riff, gotta have a good hook, you know well yeah he got a lot of fucking great hooks in these fucking songs. You gotta have you know great lyrics, and he's a hell of a wordsmith, you know he writes great lyrics, you know and being conscious of other elements of hand claps or you know whatever sort of synth parts or whatever, you know just different sounds. Josh does that. He's a brilliant fucking guy. So you know this album fucking killer. Exorcism Rock. This is what's on the back. And I've still got this in the cello. Here's insert. Just double-sided. Just band photos and credits on this side. Lyrics on this side. You know, and then this is kind of interesting. Got a red, white, and blue splat. Like I don't know. This is a splatter swirl exactly. Just various random colors. So, anyways, it's different front to back. You know. So, but yeah. Here's the deal. I dig this guy's fucking music. You know, worked with he approached me at Sioux Guitars, about working with me, and he got what did he get from me? He got a full stack from me. He got I think he got a Sioux Swift head. Maybe he either got a Swift head or he got Armor head. I can't remember which one. I think he got an Armor. It should be a 50-watt EL 34 head that is pretty much based on Pete Townsend's Live at Leeds amp. But yeah, so, and then I think he got 410 speaker and 115 speaker cabinet, if I remember right. I don't know. That was a long fucking time ago. And he's used my pedals, I got a demo video of him demoing my delay pedal, which is still on my website and whatever. But yeah, Josh is a great musician, great guy. I don't really know Josh, but I feel like he's one of those guys that, like, I could just fucking hang. He's one of them guys that, if I had a Saturday in Kansas City, I could meet him in at some record stores, or he'd show me around in different record stores. We'd do some crate digging and go have pizza together or something. I don't know. That's just my impression. He's got this easygoing sort of personality to him, as far as I know, and I dig his fucking music. So, anyways, I haven't even thought about this. I know this record really fucking well, and I don't know what I want to play you to really sell you this record, because I don't know. I mentioned Black Sun being a great breakup sort of, or post breakup sort of song. Exorcism Rock, that is a very Blue Oyster Cult sort of sounding song. I guess you weren't wrong. It reminds me of Joe Jackson for some reason, and then I guess. I guess the song I'll play you here is Rats and Cats, third song off the A side. So, anyways, I'll try to put a link in the description so you can get a copy of this. And if you like these videos, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.